Agenda Setting Theory Lecture Part 2. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Rabbi shrah li sadri wa yassir li amri wa hlul 'uqdatam min lisani yafqahu qawli. Dear students, Assalamu alaikum. I hope you all are doing well. In this video lecture, we will have some short revision of what we have discussed in the first part of this lecture, and then we'll have the remaining part of the agenda setting theory, that is agenda building and beyond that. So having just a revision, I would say that what is agenda setting? Agenda setting is the idea that the news media, by their display of news, came to determine the issues the public thinks about and talks about. Agenda setting is the idea that it's the media that sets the thinking agenda, the importance of the issues. What people should think about in their surroundings. There are two prominent studies regarding agenda setting. Those were conducted in 1968 and 1972 presidential elections, US presidential elections. First was conducted in Chapel Hill, and the second one was conducted in Charlotte in 1972. So first systematic study of agenda setting hypothesis was reported in 1972 by Donald Shaw and McComb. They studied agenda setting in presidential election of campaign of 1968. Their finding supported an agenda setting effect. And what was that? As I mentioned earlier, that the mass media sets agenda for political campaigns, influencing the salience of influencing the importance or salience of attitudes towards political issues. Media, what does that mean? Means the election campaigns being propagated, produced, projected by media, they have an impact on the public attitudes regarding their thinking, what is important and what is not important. And if you remember, or if you have studied, that there were 5 basic points, agendas, which were important for public before election, and after election there was a complete change. What was the 5 points? At the top there was inflation, then there was crime, unemployment, and at the 5th point was Iranian hostage crisis. But as the researchers suggested, that during the election campaign, since there was main focus on the Iranian hostage, so people thought, when these two researchers conducted research, they found out that the point or the agenda which was at number 5th, the last point in the importance of public agenda, that point of Iranian hostage crisis came at top. They found out, they conducted research, they surveyed, and they found out that people believe that the Iranian hostage crisis was at top. They forgot about inflation, unemployment, crime, violence, whatever those rest of the 4 agendas was. They started giving importance to the agenda which was given importance by the media. So this particular effect of media agenda has been labeled as priming effect, and that you can study in detail in your reading material, and I have already discussed about it. So the agenda setting hypothesis came about when researchers became dissatisfied with the dominant theoretical position in mass communication research during 1950s and 60s, where people thought that media has limited effect on on public. Here they believe that mass communication ordinarily does not serve as necessary and sufficient cause of audience effect, but rather functions among and through a nexus of mediating factors and influence. So, for instance, behaviorism stressed the importance of reinforcement, rewards, and punishment and conditioning in shaping behavior, and attempting to use these concepts to explain even human thought and language. So, there was a kind of change of thinking in the regarding the effect of media on public. Then the second systematic study was conducted in Charlotte, and this study was conducted in Charlotte state of North Carolina. It used a large sample than the Chapel Hill study, and it is planned and designed with the respondents being interviewed at several points throughout the election campaign. This was the second study, and in during 1972 presidential election campaign. During this study, the scholars believe that the Chapel Hill study could not establish that if it was media agenda which that was affecting public agenda, or if it was public agenda that was affecting media agenda. So here they try to find out the causal direction of the agenda setting, and they conducted experiment and they found out the priming effect, and they believe that the agenda setting effect is there. Researchers like Gladys Lang and Kurt Lang in 1983, they found out, they suggested that there are 6 basic steps of agenda building. First one is the press highlights some events or activities and make them stand out. Second one is different kinds of issues require different kinds and amount of news coverage to gain attention. Third one is attention must be framed. Fourth one is the language used by media must affect the perception of the importance of an issue. Fifth one is the media links the activities and events that becomes the focus of attention with secondary symbols such whose location on political landscape is easily recognized. And the sixth step is agenda building is accelerated when well-known and credible individuals begin to speak out on an issue. So these guys believe that these are 6 basic steps of agenda building. And these are these 6 steps include almost all the discussion that we have already discussed during this lecture. Now, here comes an important question, that who sets the media agenda then? I mean, if there is a media agenda, who sets the media agenda? Different scholars gave different suggestions. For instance, Westley provided a part of answer of this question. He suggested that there are some pressure groups and there are some special interest groups who sets the media agenda, and you can read further details about this in your reading material and in the book. And then there is another scholar, Funkhauser, who suggested 5 different factors that set the media agenda. First one is adaptation of media to a stream of event, then selective over reporting of significant but unusual events, then selective reporting of newsworthy aspects. Fourth one is manufacturing of newsworthy events, and then the fifth one is events summaries or situation that portray non-worthy events into as worthy news events. So they believe that 5 major categories of influences of media on media content are: number 1, influences from individual media workers; number 2, influences of media routine; number 3 is organization influences on the content; and the fourth one is influence on content from outside of media organization, and then the influence of the ideology. So these are different things which are causing or shaping the media agenda. So guys, this is some crux and basic information about agenda setting theory. In the last, I would try to summarize in few words that agenda setting theory is a concept where the scholars believe that the media sets agenda for the public, and media do not only tell public what to think but how to think, or sorry, not only what to think but what to think about. I mean, in simpler words, you can say that media sets the importance of agendas or the issues for the public. I mean, what should people think about? I hope you understand it well. For further detailed reading, you can have consulted your reading material that I have suggested, and then the books also. Thank you very much. Assalamu alaikum.